Hello and welcome back to the Revit tutorial series. Today we're going to be looking at building the walls and topography for this particular Revit model. So as you can see, this is where we left off last time. We have our 4 different levels. And what we're going to do next is if you go over to your project browser on the left and double click on the 00 foundation floor plan. Make sure that you're clicking on the floor plan and not the ceiling plan in this situation. What I'd like to do too is minimize the ceiling plans category. So we'll do that by clicking on the minus button. So double click on 00 foundation. You'll notice that it shows up back in a floor plan view. We can see our elevation tags at north, south, east, and west. Up in the home tab of your ribbon, you're going to click on wall. Sometimes this dialog box will pop up, and I like to just save the project just to make sure. That's a nice feature of Revit, is it reminds you every now and then that you need to save your project. So do that. Now, over on the left, you can see in the properties window now we have selected a wall. We have a green options bar, which will give us some functionality there. And then in the properties window, we can click on where it says basic wall generic 8-inch. And right now you can see the different walls that are loaded in this particular project. These are called wall families. And as you'll see in later tutorials, that we can modify these wall families, construct our own, depending on what we want the construct of that wall to look like. So in this particular situation, what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to the bottom and select retaining 12-inch concrete wall. So once you select that wall, you'll see that it has different parametric categories related to it. Right now, if we were to edit the type of the wall, we could actually modify its composition. But for this point in time, we're just going to keep it as is. We're going to look at our options bar right below the ribbon, and for the height of this wall we're going to select, instead of where it says unconnected in this drop down menu, we're going to select the height of it as going up to the O2 entry level. So what that means is we are in the 00 foundation level. We're building a 12-inch concrete retaining wall that goes up to our O2 entry level, so this is going to serve as our foundation wall. For location line, this is where when we draw the wall, how it relates to, how the cursor relates to the wall and how it might relate to other walls. So we're going to keep it on wall center line and verify that chain is selected. Chain means that once you draw one wall and you want to draw another wall, it's going to have them connect automatically. Okay, so in our drawing area, what we're going to do is click somewhere in this lower right quadrant. I'm going to start right here. Just click the first point of this one, and as you drag the mouse to the left, you can see that it is constructing that wall. We're going to move it to the left 40 feet. Now I could just eyeball this and wait until it gets right at 40 feet, and that's where I would click, or as you're drawing it to the left, you can type in 40 feet, hit enter, it'll automatically draw a 40-foot segment for the wall. Now you'll want to make sure that you are keeping your wall horizontal or vertical if you want it to be a straight wall as related to the other walls in your project, or you can hold down the shift button while you're drawing this wall. It'll automatically orient it vertical or horizontal, as you can see there. Okay, so for our next wall, we're going to go straight up or straight north. We're going to go up 22 feet. This time I'll eyeball it. Click 22 feet. And then I'm going to drag my cursor to the right and bring it straight back to the right. And I'm going to do a 40-foot wall here. Notice that when I get to the same length as the wall below, this blue dashed line pops up here. That tells me that it's exactly the same length as the previous wall. So I'm going to click that for my third wall. And then to end the command, again, I can either push escape, or what I like to do more often is click modify. It's just a good habit to get into. So once I have my 3 foundation walls, I'm going to zoom in on them by rolling the mouse wheel. And I can see that I've drawn these concrete walls. You can see the hatch pattern inside those walls to know that you've drawn concrete. Okay, so there's the first 3 concrete walls. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to double click on our O1 lower level plan. So go to your project browser, open up a lower level plan. So our view range is still set so that we can see these walls, because our walls, remember, they're going from the foundation to the entry level. So now that we're in lower level, we can still see these concrete walls. So I'm going to push, by using my pan button, holding down the mouse wheel, I'm going to push my mouse, or push my drawing off to the left. And this time, I'm going to go up to Wall. Again, it's in the Home tab, your first tool there. I'm going to click Wall, and instead of clicking Retaining, I'm going to scroll down, or scroll up, pardon me, and click Foundation 12-inch concrete wall. We click Foundation. And this time, instead of, notice in the options bar, instead of height, it says depth. And what that means is, in the last command, we built a wall going from the foundation up to the entry level. In this case, in the case of a foundation wall, we're actually starting at a level, starting at the lower level, and going down the depth. And we're going to change this and go down to 0, 0 foundation. So set your depth at 0, 0 foundation. Alright. We still want chain selected. Wall center line is just fine. This time we're going to bring our mouse down into the drawing area, and our start point is going to be on the center point of our south wall. So click right in the center there. It snaps to the center, which is actually the end point of that wall. And we're going to move our cursor to the right. You can see it building the wall. We're going to move it to the right 6 feet 6 inches. I can eyeball that one because it's a short segment. Go to the right 6 feet 6. Then we're going to go straight up 5 feet. And to the right again 10 feet 6 inches. And click. And then we'll go straight up again. And again, you can hold Shift down to keep it straight. And then once you get close enough, you'll see the snap dashed line to make it snap to the north wall. We're going to click there. It's actually a 17-foot wall segment. And then bring your mouse to the left until you come back to that north wall. Once you get to the end point of that north wall, click again. And there you've created your foundation walls. Okay, again, to end the command, you're still in the wall command. Notice you can see that in the properties window. You want to click Modify in the ribbon to end the command. And there we have our walls. Now let's take a look at a 3D view of this drawing. So we're going to go up to the View tab right above your ribbon. There's a little house there that says 3D view. So if you click right on that house, it's going to construct a 3D view. You can see it constructed it. We can see it in our drawing area, but you can also see that it's added a new category over in the project browser to the left where it says 3D views. If I click on the plus sign next to it, you'll notice that it has that 3D view. So for example, if I go back to my foundation plan by double clicking on it, I can always go back to my 3D view by double clicking on the 3D view in the project browser. And there you have it. Once you're in your 3D view, the same functionality exists. You can zoom out, zoom in, pan to the right or the left or up and down by holding your mouse button down. Something I also like to do here is I can push my wheel down and hold down the Shift key. It allows me to orbit my model.